From South Carolina Public Radio, this is Who, What, When, an hour of history, games, and trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson.
And I'm Brandon Gray. The days, they're getting longer. The weather, it's heating up.
That's right.
And we're celebrating summertime with games fit for the season.
That's right, Brand. Coming out later this hour, we'll see how well you remember big summer blockbuster movies, talk about lesser-known summer holidays, and hear 3 stories from history about the Summer Olympics.
Oh.
But only 2 of them are true.
Wow.
Will you be able to guess which one we made up?
And if you'd like to join us for these games, you just got to call or text us, folks. 803-470-6347. One more time, that's 803-470-6347. Or you can send us an email, whowhatwhen at scpublicradio.org. You could have a shot at taking home the title of the Who What When Chamber of the Week, and more importantly, the trophy that is the Who What When Fanny Pack.
Got to get that fanny pack. Bran, it's one of my favorite times of the year.
Really?
Sun's out. Got the grill going.
Yeah.
Dip in the pool.
Yeah.
Here in South Carolina, it's getting hot outside.
You're not kidding about that one. It kind of snuck up on us this year.
It did. Yeah,
It was kind of cool for a little bit, and then
It
the sun,
was.
and then it said,
All
"Hey."
of a sudden, it's like, we're back, baby.
Someone told the sun it's summer.
That's
and
right.
they said, okay, I guess it's time to do it. In fact, one of my favorite things to do in the summer is play a game called How Many Shirts. And it's where I see how many shirts I can sweat through in a day.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best idea I've
How
ever
many shirts?
heard. What's your record?
18.
You've sweated through 18.
18 shirts.
That's almost a shirt an hour, buddy.
I know.
Do you have a problem?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Hopefully we'll break that record a different day and not here today in our air-conditioned studio.
We hope that wherever you're listening to this game, it's nice, it's cool. Maybe you get the AC pumping. I would really hate for you to play How Many Shirts, the home game. That wouldn't be very fun for you.
Okay, that's enough about that.
Okay,
Today we've
how
got
many
games
shirts?
about some very summery things. Summer, movies, holidays, and the Summer Olympics.
And we'll, of course, need some contestants to play those games. Luckily, we already have 2 people on the line right now, Dan.
We sure do. Caller number 1, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, this is Kerry, and I'm from here in South Carolina in Lexington.
Lexington, South Carolina.
Lexington. I love that. Carrie, you got any good summer vacation plans coming up? What are you doing?
I'm cruising to Bermuda here in June.
Wow.
Gotta get out of this area.
How about that?
Cruising to Bermuda.
I am going to take that as an invitation, Carrie. So we're very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's right.
And
we'll be joining Kerry and his family.
That was my
on the-
understanding.
on the cruise.
Don't bring it up if you were not
That's right.
invited.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of the rule here.
I can tell Kerry's a regular cruise person because of how he said, he didn't say I'm going on a cruise. He said we're cruising.
We're cruising.
Are you a cruiser, Kerry?
Yeah, we average about 1 or 2 a year.
There it is. Yeah,
We
we're
like
cruising.
to go places.
They're cruising. They're cruising. If you go on one cruise, you're going on a cruise. If you go on cruises every year, you're a cruiser. And we're cruising.
Do you have a preferred cruise line, Carrie?
Shout them out.
Shout them out.
Norwegian.
Shout out.
Norwegian. Shout out Norwegian.
We're all about Norwegian Cruise Line.
We love the
Norwegian
Norwegians.
Cruise Line. I love it.
Great country, better ship.
Wow. I don't know if you know this. Norwegia is not a country.
Ah, dang it. It's news to me. News to me,
you.
brother.
Carrie, it's clear you love the summer. You're a cruiser. That's a classic summer activity. We're glad you're here on Who, What, When. You're going to be playing against caller number 2. Caller number 2, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, my name's Anita, and I am from Southern California.
Anita from SoCal.
How about that?
Wow.
That's a place that I would like to visit during the summer. I
Yeah.
feel like the summer must be really nice over
It's
there.
summer 365
That's
days
my
a year in
understanding.
SoCal, isn't it, Anita?
Well, it's funny, actually. It's a little bit cold and misty in May and June. So that's actually my favorite part of summer over here.
yeah.
But, then it gets pretty hot. Yeah.
Anita's favorite part of summer is when it doesn't feel like summer.
Well, that's because if it's December and you try to put your Christmas tree up and it's 80 degrees outside, you probably miss something that isn't summer.
You gotta miss something. You got any big summer plans coming up, Anita?
Well, same plans every year. I go back to Michigan, where I grew up.
Oh, that's gotta be what part of Michigan?
Well, I grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. When we go back, we go to what they call upper lower Michigan. So
Upper
Upper lower. It's a classic upper lower situation.
It's a classic upper layer.
And
Yeah,
that's all over that mitt where
Yes.
so the upper lower the
you
mitt.
have the mitt,
That's right.
and then it's
You go upper and then you go lower. That's how you get there.
You can't
That's
do one
exactly
without
right.
the other. That
It's
was
a
my
classic
understanding.
upper.
Anita, we're so happy
right.
that you're joining us. I've only met these people just a few minutes ago, but I have a feeling that we got ourselves quite the match.
It's going to be a fun time, I think. It's going to be a fun time, I think. That's right. So, Carrie, Carrie, Anita, thank you for joining us on this summer-themed episode. Our first game today is called $1 Billion Summer Blockbusters. Bran, do you know where we get the term blockbuster from?
I'm just assuming here.
Yeah.
I don't know the history. I assume it started with a guy named Buster
That's right,
who
old
saw,
Buster.
saw way too many movies one summer. The theater had to block him. They called it the blockbuster.
They did have to blockbuster. That is incorrect. Actually, back in the 1970s, we had some of the first modern popular summer movies like Jaws and Star Wars, and people would line up around the block
That
to
block's
buy
busted.
tickets for them. That block's busted.
You got to bust that block.
Got to bust that block. For a long time, a movie becoming a blockbuster meant that it made over $100 million at the box office. But now there are at least 30 movies that have made over $1 billion
Billion.
at the worldwide box office. And most of them have come out during the summer months.
That's crazy. Anita, Carrie, what we're going to do with this game is give you clues about some of these $1 billion movies, and you need to identify which ones we're talking about. And some of these movies, they might surprise you.
Carrie, our first question in $1 billion summer blockbusters is yours. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Question 1. R.I.P. Goose, obviously, but one of the original kings of the summer blockbuster returns to one of the characters that made him famous over 35 years later to light up the box office with this sequel, which got people flying back to the big screen after the COVID pandemic, grossing almost $1.5 billion at the box office. Is that A, Independence Day Resurgence, B, Top Gun Maverick, or C, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
We're definitely going to go with Top Gun Maverick, that B.
Gonna go with Top Gun Maverick, that B, and that is correct. Top Gun Maverick.
How about that?
Yeah. $1.5 billion for
That's
Top
a
Gun
lot.
Maverick.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But you know what? When I got back into the theaters and he got on that plane and he zipped right on out there.
He's really flying.
Unbelievable.
He's really flying.
I was like, yeah, it's good to be back in the theaters.
It's good to be back.
I understand why I did really well.
it. That's right. All right. 1 point for Carrie. Anita, it's your question here on $1 Billion Summer Blockbusters. Here we go. The success of Illumination's Despicable Me series about the Steve Carell-voiced bad guy turned good guy, Gru, spawned this spin-off franchise whose original movie grossed over $1 billion at the box office in the summer of 2015. Is that A, Minions, B, Underlings, C, Groundlings?
Okay, well, I am lucky enough to have kids, so I know that this one is Minions.
Lucky enough to have kids and lucky enough to be correct. It is
How about
A,
that?
Minions. Can you believe that the spin-off about the little yellow guys from Despicable Me grossed $1 billion?
They're funny little guys. They're funny little guys. They talk about bananas.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but the Minions are better than the Despicable Me. Like, I just like the Minions.
Wow.
The Minions are why you go to those movies. Right?
Well, that's why you stay. You come for Gru, you stay for Minions.
I mean, Minions Rise of Gru may be the best of all those movies. Like, I'm here for Minions.
Is this becoming a Minions podcast?
It's a Minions. It's a Minions cast.
Welcome to Minion.
You hear what I'm
cast.
saying? Now, what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that those movies are all high art. I'm saying that I also am lucky enough to have kids. I would rather just watch the Minions do dumb stuff.
All right, can I make a request?
Yeah, let's do it.
Could you do question 3 in Minion speak?
I don't think Carrie would understand it because it would be in half Spanish.
Well, there's nothing we could do.
Yeah, there is plenty we could do. It's not that.
Our hands are tied.
That's right.
Banana.
We could just say it like we've done the other one. Carrie, your next question here on Who, What, When, $1 Billion Summer Blockbusters. Here we go. Life finds a way in this 1993 game changer for summer cinema. A creature feature from Steven Spielberg that, through re-releases, has now grossed over $1.1 billion at the box office. Is that A, E.T., B, Jurassic Park, or C, Jaws?
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're all creature features.
From 93?
93.
I'll go with Jurassic Park.
He's going to go with Jurassic Park. He is going to be correct.
Well done,
Spielberg's
Carrie.
had a lot of blockbusters and a lot of creature features, I found out in writing that question.
You know what? I don't know about him. I don't know if he's going to.
You don't know if he's going to make it.
I don't know if he's going to make it.
I think that's fair.
I think verdict's still out. We'll see what happens, but
Verdict's still out.
A good up and comer at least.
Good up and comer. I like it. All right, Anita, the pressure's on. Carrie's got 2. You've got 1. $1 billion summer blockbusters. Here's your question. George Lucas's return to this space saga 15 years after the original trilogy was received with mixed reviews, but also a ginormous bag of money, grossing over $1 billion starting all the way back in the summer of '99. Is that A, Rogue One, a Star Wars story? B, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace? Or C, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi?
All right. So they're all Star Wars. I think the one that would have come out in 99 would be Episode 1.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. She is correct.
There you go. In the
correct.
words of our boy Jake Lloyd, it's working.
Oh, my God. I'm glad that you think he's your boy.
He's my boy.
Yeah, you're just a Jingle All the Way
I'm a
fan.
Jingle
Just
All the
be
Way
honest
stan. That is true.
about who you are.
Well.
Phantom Menace is his Minions. Yeah, that movie should be no one's Minions. It should be buried in a sea somewhere.
Hey, you be kind.
You love that movie.
I do like that movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a Padres
he's
kid.
A Jar Jar
I don't
guy.
know. Yeah. Oh, give me Jar Jar, baby.
All right, $1 billion blockbusters were tied 2-2. Carrie, the next question is yours. Many of the Walt Disney live-action remakes have been billion-dollar successes for the company. But this remake, directed by Tim Burton, starring Anne Hathaway and Johnny Depp, was a mad match made in heaven, grossing over $1 billion back in 2010. Is that A, Alice in Wonderland, B, Beauty and the Beast, or C, Snow White?
We're going to go with A.
A, Alice in Wonderland is correct.
Can't fool Carrie.
Can't fool Carrie.
Can't fool Carrie. We can fool a lot of people to go see this movie, but we can't fool Carrie.
Can't fool Carrie. Brand, I don't want to sound the horn too early, but I think it's a perfect game. We sounded it anyway. Anita, the pressure's on now. We got a perfect game going here on Who, What, When, talking about summer. Anita, the next question's yours here on $1 Billion Blockbusters. Considered by many to be one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, certainly excluding the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Christopher Nolan's middle chapter in his Batman trilogy raised the cinematic bar, scored a posthumous Oscar for its Joker, and made over $1 billion in the summer of 2008. Is that A, The Batman, B, Batman Returns, or C, The Dark Knight?
Oh, no. I really want this Sammy pack.
I know.
Oh, I can tell.
I know.
I can
Oh,
tell.
no.
Tension's real. They're all Batman movies.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I know it's not the Batman because I think that one just came out in the
All
last
right, we got that
couple
one out of the
years.
way. Batman Returns
But-
or The Dark Knight?
My gut is saying Batman Returns. So I'm just going to go for it.
She's going to go with her gut. Batman Returns. She is incorrect. I sounded the horn too
sounded it too
early.
early.
We're looking for Heath Ledger's turn as the Joker in The Dark Knight.
This is really tough, Anita. I can see how you got there.
Anita, the question has been lost, but the game far from over.
That's right.
Plenty of time to
Plenty
make
of
that
game to
up.
play.
Carrie, you got a chance to expand your lead a little bit here on Who, What, When, talking $1 billion summer blockbusters. Here's your next question. If you wonder why Michael Bay was allowed to keep making what seemed like sequel after sequel to this Shia LaBeouf-led giant robot summer series, it's because they kept making more and more money, with this third entry actually crossing the $1 billion mark in 2011. Is that A, Transformers 1, B, Transformers Rise of Bumblebee, or C, Transformers Dark of the Moon?
Oh, man. I didn't finish watching past the first one.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
You're better for it, Carrie.
We'll go with C.
He's going to go with C, Transformers Dark of the Moon, and he is correct.
Wow.
He pulled it out there. Transformers Dark of the Moon. Here's another hot take for you. That's the best one.
Oh, my goodness. How about
That I will say, until you get to the Bumblebee standalone.
Sure.
Of the Shia Transformers, Dark of the Moon, in my opinion, is the best one. Most of them are trash. That one's not bad. Maybe because I saw it in IMAX 3D and I felt like
maybe that has something to do with
cars
it.
were going to hit me in the face.
Yeah.
Maybe that was what it was.
Take you out of
That's
your misery?
exactly what you're looking for. The sound of metal as your ears bleed.
That's exactly right.
All right, Anita.
The thing I like about Michael Bay is he's understated.
He's
And
understated. Yeah.
Listen,
it's subtle.
It's subtle
It's
filmmaking.
symbolism.
That's
Yeah, there's a lot happening there. All right, Anita. Pressure's on now. Really need to get this one right here. $1 billion summer blockbusters. Here's your question. British director Guy Ritchie seemed an unlikely choice to man this Disney live-action Middle Eastern tale, but you throw in Will Smith as the new Robin Williams and a few new musical numbers, and this 2019 flick soared to almost $1.1 billion. Is that A, Aladdin, B, Beauty and the Beast, or C, Prince of Persia?
All right. Well, I didn't have it when you started asking the question, but I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, and that is Aladdin.
She is picking up what I'm putting down. It is Aladdin.
How about that?
Soaring on a magic carpet ride.
I can show you. We're not allowed to sing any more words.
No, we can't.
But we can start with, I can show you. And that's it.
You can
the
just
next
do
question.
random, like,
the next question.
Shining, shimmering.
That, and then our hands
it.
are tied. We
That's
can't
right.
do that anymore.
This
I like
is
that
it,
movie. I like that remake.
I do like that remake too. I think of the remakes, it's probably one of the better ones.
There you go.
Jungle Book being the best.
And like for
I
a guy,
said what I said.
for a Guy Ritchie movie, surprising lack of profanity. So
Lack of profanity, lack of Cockney accents, and lack of quick cuts.
it's not my Guy Ritchie. I'll say that much.
It's like, why did you hire Guy Ritchie?
That's exactly right.
to make this movie. I don't know. Carrie, the board is now yours. We're talking billion-dollar blockbusters. You've got one question left.
Wow.
That's what you've got left. Here we go. It took 20 movies made in the Marvel Cinematic Universe before one was led by a female superhero.
Wow.
Playing quite possibly the most powerful of heroes, this Brie Larson-led origin story carved its way to over $1.1 billion in 2019. Is that A, Doctor Strange, B, Captain Marvel, or C, She-Hulk?
Okay, well, I've actually watched all of those. I'm a Marvel freak.
Okay, Marvel freak.
So we're going to go with Captain Marvel.
We're going to go with Captain Marvel, and he is correct. Marvel freak carrier, the perfect category
How
there.
about that?
Perfect category.
That's
all right,
pretty good.
Anita. Last question of the round goes to you to stay within striking
You got
distance.
this, Anita.
And I
You
got to
got
be
this.
honest, next category way tougher. All bets are off. Anita, your last question here in billion-dollar summer blockbusters. Here we go. While the original Pixar Fish Tale came up just shy of $1 billion in 2003, this sequel just kept swimming, crossing the cash threshold in the summer of 2016. Is that A, Monsters University, B, Finding Dory, or C, Toy Story 4?
Hey, I'm still in it. Finding Dory.
Still in it. Finding Dory
All
is
right,
correct.
Anita.
Just keep swimming. Since we're giving hot takes, Brand, I think it's better than the original.
Wow.
I think Finding Dory's better than Finding Nemo. Don't at me. In fact, at me if you want to. Who, what, when at scpublicradio.org.
Hot Dan Takes Summer.
Yeah,
apparently,
it's a
is what we
Hot
got going
Dan
on
Takes
here.
Summer. Hot Take
Wow.
Dan Hot Take Summer.
We'll workshop
One
the
of
name.
those. We'll get there. We'll get there.
This is Who, What, When. I'm Brandon Gray here with my co-host Daniel Thompson, and today we're celebrating summertime with games themed around the season.
And we're having a great time with our contestants, Carrie and Anita. It's a close game after our first round, but things could change in our next game, all about lesser-known summer holidays.
That's coming up right after the break, right here on Who, What, When.
Welcome back to Who, What, When, an hour of history, games, and trivia from South Carolina Public Radio. I'm Daniel Thompson here with my good buddy Brandon Gray. We're getting our minds in shape for the summer with quizzes appropriate for the season.
And before we get back to our games, we just want to remind you that we would love for you to join us on a future episode of Who, What, When. You just got to call or text us 803-470-6347 or send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org.
Our contestants this week are Carrie from Lexington, South Carolina, and Anita from Southern California. Carrie is currently leading the game by 1 point, but Anita could easily come from behind in our next game. It's one of our favorites around here. It's called Take the Day Off, Summer Edition.
We love Take the Day Off around here because it is our chance to help you celebrate summer even more by finding out some national holidays that you could theoretically, and we would encourage you to do so, take those days off.
Exactly. Our big holidays like Memorial Day and 4th of July are awesome. But why wait until then to take some good earned time off when there are some lesser known holidays you could take advantage of right now this summer?
That's right. Anita and Carrie, here's how the game is going to work. Dan will read you clues about actual special occasions that are marked in some way in the U.S. each year, along with 3 options of what those holidays are called. Multiple choice style. You have to tell us which one of those days is real. That's Take the Day Off.
Carrie and Anita, you ready to take the day off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
Ready.
Carrie, the first question's yours here on Take the Day Off, and here it comes. August 3rd is the day designated to celebrate this classic summer fruit. The town of Cordial, Georgia celebrates it as they have an entire festival for the fruit, including tasting and seed spitting competitions. Is it A, National Peach Day, B, National Watermelon Day, or C, National Pomegranate Day?
Oh, wow. I'll go with watermelon.
He's going to go with watermelon, and even though Georgia's known as the peach state, he is correct.
Tricky. How about that?
That's
I got to be honest
exactly
with
right.
you. This sounds amazing. Like, and I just looked how far Cordelia is from where we are.
Yeah.
It's 4 hours, so I don't think I'll be getting there anytime soon. But I love this.
I knew that because I've been to Cordial. At one point, had a Watermelon Festival shirt.
Really?
True story.
Big Watermelon Fest fan.
No, my brother worked down there for summer, and I happened to just visit.
So you don't like watermelon?
I like a good watermelon.
But why are you just either
Cordial just came to me because I had been there before.
either like watermelon or don't like watermelon?
I'm fine with watermelon.
That's not what you're putting out there.
August 3rd, you come to my house, you see how many watermelon I have.
All right. I'm going to come over
right. Yeah,
August 3rd,
That's right.
and we're going to see who likes watermelon.
We're going to have a
We're gonna
seed spitting
see.
contest of our own.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
Bring Cordelia to
Carrie,
us.
your perfect game continues. Anita, it's time to play Take the Day Off. Here's your question. If you have kids, you know that summer means a complete change of schedule requiring some flexibility on the family calendar, which is why on July 27th, you can celebrate this day to thank those who made summer happen for you as a kid. Or if you just find yourself counting down the days until school starts back again. Is that A, National Parents Day, B, National Siblings Day, or C, National Cousins Day?
Okay. You're saying it's something to do with somebody who made summer happen? Probably not my siblings. I guess it's got to be National Parents Day?
She used process of elimination and she got to National Parents Day, and that is correct.
Wow, there you go.
That's right. They make summer happen for the kiddos.
That's right.
Anita.
You have your
know,
Mother's Day, you have your Father's Day. Why
Yeah.
not a Parents' Day? I like that. Also, shout out cousins.
Oh.
Shout out to the cousins out there.
Shout out.
You and I, Bran, both know about, our wives work, we work out of the house. We all work out of the house. And around December, January, we dread going, we've got to get our summer plans together
Yes.
for the kiddos over the
exactly
summer.
right.
And we got to figure it out. So shout out to all the cousins out there.
Maybe take one day off.
Take a day off for National Parents Day. I'm taking July 27th, man, put it on the calendar.
You got a favorite
Absolutely.
cousin you want to shout out?
Bryson.
Shout out.
The problem is I have cousin twins that I'm
got
I'm pretty
cousin
close.
twins.
But I can't shout out one without the other, and they have a younger sister, and so I just went with Bryson. Shout out to Bryson.
Yeah, which is really impressive.
I can't
because
do
of-
this. Bryson, Ben, Katie, Susie, Emily. You're all wonderful. All five of them.
Oh,
Bryson
you
was
said
first.
Bryson first,
I've not seen Bryson in
which
a
is surprising
decade.
because Bryson's the freaking worst, bro. I hate that guy.
All right, Carrie, the board is now yours. We're playing Take the Day Off. Let's learn about another holiday that happens over the summer. This July 22nd, find yourself a beach, lake, or just two trees in your backyard to celebrate this perfect way to unwind all summer long. Is it National Chase Lounge Day, B, National Beanbag Chair Day,
Oh yeah.
or C, National Hammock Day?
All right.
Well, if you can find in trees or on the beach, let's go with a hammock day.
Let's go with a hammock day. He is cruising right
He's
now to
cruising.
7 in a row. Perfect game.
I
intact.
just recently inherited a Chase Lounge.
Yeah?
Yeah,
How's it going for you?
that was awesome.
Out in the backyard or in your
Yeah,
house?
out in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a hammock before?
Oh yeah.
The idea of you getting out of a hammock does make me laugh. It would be, good. It would be good stuff.
We have a hammock in the backyard, and I
You do?
I will occasionally
You partake
I'll
occasionally?
partake in the hammock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I look pretty good getting out of it. To be honest with you.
We'll put it on video right after we do the seed spitting.
Yeah, that's
A
exactly.
lot
right.
for the socials. In
Follow
this
us on the
episode.
social media.
That's right. All right, Anita, we're playing Take the Day Off. The next question is yours. The folks over at Ripley's Believe It or Not believe that summer is about relaxation, but also about staying physically active or just even going for a summer stroll, which is the best way to celebrate this holiday on July 27th, where you don't ignore your wardrobe. What? Is it A, take your pants for a walk day, B, best fit to get fit day, or C, mile of style day?
Wow, this is a tough one, Anita.
Oh my god! Like who would petition to have a day named after any of those things? Oh my
I think
gosh.
this is
Okay.
Ripley's Believe It or Not came up with this day. This is a definite
Believe it or not?
Yes.
Believe it.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I would have believed if you told me you made up three of them, but I guess one of them is
A
real.
day that you should take off. That's exactly right, Anita.
Oh, no. I've got to get this right. Otherwise, oh, no. Okay. I'm going to go with Mile of Style.
She's going Mile of Style. She's incorrect. It's not Mile of
Nita.
Style.
I think the only way that you could possibly deal with the loss there is by taking your pants for a walk day, because that's the correct answer, Anita. Take your pants for a walk day.
It's the weirdest way to say go for a walk even in pants if you have to. Like,
Yeah.
take your pants for a walk day.
Should be short.
Come on,
July 27th.
Why are you going to make
Ripley's.
it weird, Ripley? Gosh. Let's take your pants for a walk
I'm
day,
sorry,
Anita.
Anita.
I'm really sorry about
You're
that.
still in it, though,
You're still
Anita.
in
There's
it.
still time.
Plenty of time left. Carrie, next question's yours here. See if you can keep that perfect game intact. So you're in the doghouse because you missed your anniversary or maybe her birthday. Don't worry. There's a day for that. Celebrate getting back to good on July 2nd by getting all the belated gifts you need on A, I Forgot Day. B, Give Me Another Chance Day. Or C, Oops, I Did It Again Day.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna do some Britney Spears here. Is that what we got?
That sounds like it.
Again,
Yeah.
answer. That's funny, but I'm gonna go with it because it's Britney Spears.
He's going with Oops, I Did It Again Day. And I wish there was an Oops, I Did It Again Day.
Oh, no.
We're looking for I Forgot Day.
Oh, the perfect game has been foiled by I Forgot Day.
I Forgot Day.
Oops.
Hey, but listen, the good news is out there, July 2nd, 2 days before the celebration of the birth of our nation, if you forgot anybody's birthday, an anniversary, anything, you got a day now.
I forgot.
Take the day off, remember the day that you forgot, and then go and do it on I Forgot Day.
What if you forget that I Forgot Day?
Then you're just you're chronic at that point. You got a problem. That's right. But you got a day to make it up. So listen, it's a day we all learned about, July 2nd. Take the whole week off. Why not?
Yeah, with my luck, I'd go to the store to get a gift. I'd walk out with a pile of fireworks.
That's
I'm
right.
Like, Sorry.
Oh, well,
I forgot.
I forgot again.
I forgot why I was there in the first place. The
All right,
fireworks.
did you hear that sound?
What's
Brandon?
that?
It was a door creaking back open
Oh,
for
my
Anita to get into
gosh.
this thing.
Bring in the WD-40, but that's exciting.
It's exciting. We do need to bring that here at the studio. Anita, we're playing Take the Day Off. You get a chance to get back in this thing right here if you can guess this summer holiday correctly. The gravichord, the Picasso, the ring flute, these are just a few of the vessels that you might never have heard of. And on July 31st, you can change that by helping celebrate this day and really expanding that summer playlist. Is it A, Out of the Box Music Day, B, Spooky Sounds Day, or C, Uncommon Instrument Awareness Day?
Oh, the UIA, yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't think it's going to be spooky sounds in summertime.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good. Good thought process there.
Yeah.
And so we've got uncommon instruments. And what was the other one?
Uncommon Instrument Awareness Day or Out of the Box Music Day.
Okay. I flip a coin, right? I got to get this right. I got to get the fanny pack.
That's right. It's a big deal.
Okay. I'm going to go with Uncommon Instruments Day.
She's going with Uncommon Instrument Awareness Day, and she is correct.
Oh,
We
grab
got
yourself.
ourselves a game.
Grab yourself a gravichord and play yourself a song, Anita. That's exciting.
Gravichord, Picasso, and the ring flute. You know those instruments, Brand?
I have not heard of any of them. No,
Any of them. Uncommon Instrument Awareness Day, July 31st.
I know about Picasso.
Yeah, different
I
Picasso.
know
This is with a
rings
K.
and flutes. I don't know what a gravichord is.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
look
just
that up.
these are all real instruments. I promise you. All right, Carrie, things are tightening up now.
Oh, boy.
They're tightening up.
Oh boy.
You got a couple questions left. Pressure's on. Playing Take the Day Off here. These are real holidays that take place during the summer. Next question's yours. Alan Jackson said there ain't no cure for the summertime blues, but this day says maybe there is and invites you on July 11th to pay a visit to someone that might need a friend. A, be a neighbor day. B, start a band day. Or C, cheer up the lonely day.
Wow.
Wow. This is going to cheer up. Alan Jackson. I felt like there was a Kermit the Frog reference there too, but that just may have been me. Let's go with A.
He's going with A, be a neighbor day. He is incorrect.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, it is getting real right now.
What?
We are looking for Cheer Up the Lonely Day. Cheer Up the Lonely Day, a day on the calendar designed for you to find someone in need.
Well, that's nice.
Whether they be someone that can't leave the house or someone that doesn't have like a lot of family close by, and just be there for them and it had nothing to do with Kermit the Frog.
As somebody who has maybe been ostracized from his friends and families because of how many shirts he sweats through during
That's right. Yeah.
This one means a lot to me.
Hits home a little bit more. Cheer up the loneliness, July 11th. July, you're going to be busy this summer. You can't go to work. You don't have time for that. A lot of shirts. All right, Anita, we're here. After you missed that second one, I didn't think it was possible. You got a chance to tie this bad boy up right now with your next question. You're going to take the day off. This isn't just a creepy movie with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. It's also not just the birthday of Game Day's Lee Corso and yours truly.
Wow.
August 7th is also a holiday that's been celebrated for centuries after Congress gave the U.S. government control over the creation and maintenance of these important nautical navigation aids. Is it A, National Buoy Day?
Give it up for that buoy.
B, National Beacon Day?
What up, Beacon?
Or C, National Lighthouse Day?
Ooh, hanging by a moment.
All right, I think I got a good chance here. I'm going to go for Lighthouse.
National Lighthouse Day is correct, and we got ourselves a tie ball game.
Wow.
Man. All the people that were live betting this on DraftKings, they're in big trouble now. When Anita went down 2, they took the sure thing.
Yeah.
Dude, ETV Sportsbook is off the chain right now. But if you took Anita plus 2,800, you were in business.
This is incredible.
Right
Everybody, call your friends, call your family, tell them to turn it on right now because we've got a battle.
We got a battle. Also, if you caught that, August 7th is my birthday, and you can send all the birthday gifts to your boy, Daniel, right to 1041 George Rogers Boulevard here in Columbia, South Carolina. All those care packages, all those gifts. Big sour candy guy.
Okay.
Big Yankees fan.
All right, I feel like this is going on a skosh too long.
Diet Coke is good.
I like that.
Minions, the Minions. All right, here we go, Carrie. It's a brand new ball game out here. We're playing Take the Day Off. This is your last question of the round. By August 10th, you're really in the dog days of summer, and it doesn't feel like there's an end in sight.
Yep.
So why not take this day off to unload all the junk you've collected over the years? Maybe give yourself some more space for the new school year. A, National Garage Sale Day. B, National Swap Meet Day. C, National Give It Away Day.
Ooh. Carrie, what you think?
Well, I know what we do, and that's Natural Garage Sale Day.
That's what we do, and that
recoup that money from everything we spent.
All the cruising you're doing. That is correct, Carrie. It is National Garage Sale Day. All right, the gauntlet has been thrown. Anita, you want that fanny pack? You got to get this question right. It's the only chance you have. It's the last question.
Anita, get this question right.
Anita, get this question right. That's good stuff. That's pure gold there. I'm sure she's never heard that pun in her life.
She loves it.
Here we go. If you're someone that needs a reason, literally any reason, to treat yourself, this is it. A holiday without rhyme or reason, except for the fact that it's August 27th and summer's almost over. Here's your chance to celebrate. Is it A, Not Quite Fall Day, B, Just Because Day, or C, Why Not Day?
All right. Without rhyme or reason, I think I'm going to narrow it down to the second two choices.
Okay.
I think Just Because.
She's going Just Because
more
Day,
like a holiday.
and she is correct.
Whoa!
She's correct.
Whoa!
What a game.
This is Who It Win. I'm Brandon Gray here with my buddy Daniel Thompson. We're having a lot of fun here talking about summer, and we're so excited for our contestants.
We sure are. Bran, Anita from SoCal and Carrie from South Carolina are currently tied coming out of our second round, which means they both get to head to the final round for chances to win a Who What Win fanny pack.
We'll see if they can pull it off. Coming up right after this break here on Who What Win.
This is Who What Wins, South Carolina Public Radio's Hour of History, Games, and Trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson here with my good buddy and co-host Brandon Gray. It's summertime and the quizzing's easy, so we're celebrating with games fit for the season.
And before we get to our final game today, here's a quick reminder that you can be a contestant on a future episode of the show. I'll be honest, I know you're probably on your phone right now. Go ahead and open up that text message and text us or call us, 803-470-6347, or you can send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org.
And we got a bit of a special thing happening right
special.
now. Now, normally we would have one contestant playing in our final game for a chance at our famous Who What When fanny pack. But our contestants, Carrie from South Carolina and Anita from SoCal, tied in our last round.
Woo.
So today, they're both getting a shot at a fanny pack. All they have to do is make it through our final game. History or His Story, Summer Olympics edition.
So exciting. Anita and Carrie, here's how History or His Story is going to go. Dan's going to tell you 3 stories from history about the Summer Olympic Games. 2 of these stories are 100% true and actually happened. The other one is 100% made up by Dan, a.k.a. it is his story. After each story, you'll have a chance to talk through the details with me. We can ask some questions, try to maybe pick up on some of what Dan might be making up. And after we get through all 3 stories, you will have a chance to tell us which one is Dan's lie and potentially win the game.
That's right, Brand. These stories about the Summer Olympics come from 1904, 1920, and 1936. I'll give them to you in chronological order, starting with our first story about the marathon at the Summer Olympics in 1904. The 1904 Olympics took place in St. Louis, Missouri. It's the first Olympics ever held in the United States of America, and it was held in conjunction with the World's Fair, celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the Louisiana Purchase. St. Louis gateway to the West and whatnot. So the marathon is the signature event of the Summer Olympics. It was designed to honor the Olympic heritage of Greece, running a 26.2-mile run. The 1904 marathon, not exactly signature honoring. The majority of the field had never run a marathon before. It just wasn't in vogue, and it was a part of the Olympics that no one really trained for at that time in history. One American spot in the marathon was actually given to a prize winner of a 5-mile race. They're like, your prize is you can run for the United States in the Olympics.
5 months closer.
Sure. 2 South Africans in the 1904 marathon ran barefoot. There was a Cuban national named Felix Carbajal who raised money in Cuba to be Cuba's representative of the marathon. He got to the States and immediately lost all his money in a dice game and had to walk or hitchhike to St. Louis. And for the race, he wore a long sleeve shirt, long pants, a beret, and street shoes. He took his pants for a walk. Took his pants for a walk and then took a nap midway through the race. It's a long race. Took him out.
Felix. My God.
The temperature for the 1904 Summer Olympic Marathon was in the mid-90s. The race started at 3 p.m. and all the participants that year were required to be dehydrated to start the race. There were 2 water stations, one at mile 6, one at mile 12. Last 14 miles you're on your own.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Why?
They thought it was a measure of strength.
Okay.
This is why nobody wanted to do it.
Make it harder.
Yeah, exactly. One Olympic official called the marathon the most difficult course a human being could ask for. There were 7 hills of at least 100 feet in elevation. There was cracked stone thrown along the roadway on purpose.
Oh my gosh.
To try to make people trip.
All right, Jigsaw, take it down a notch, bro.
The traffic on the roads remained in place, and no roads or train tracks were blocked for anyone. One runner quit because of vomiting spells. Another was hospitalized. The South African runner was chased a mile, of course, by wild dogs. One runner, Frederick Lors, cramped up at mile 9 and hitched a ride in a car. He was let out 3 miles before the finish line and finished the race in under 3 hours. Crowd went nuts, but someone yelled he was a cheater and an imposter. And Lors said he never intended on accepting the gold medal. He just did it as a bit. It was a joke.
He was doing bits.
Thomas Hicks won the race. He was giving strychnine and egg whites, later brandy. He hallucinated over the last 2 miles and was carried to the finish line by 2 other runners.
Wow.
Olympics almost canceled any future marathon from how crazy this marathon was. And instead, people later on in the 1900s started taking it seriously. But that is the true story of the 1904 Summer Olympics marathon.
Wow.
How many shirts was that, Brandon?
If I was running that marathon, the number doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's right.
The number does not exist.
What do you think about that, Brandon?
I'm baffled by it because, like, A marathon's hard enough.
Chased a mile off course by wild dogs.
Marathon hard enough.
What if we-
I don't know why they would actively try to make it harder for the people who already aren't runners. This story makes no sense to me, which is why I suspect that it's probably real. But I don't know. Carrie, do you have any questions about this story before we move on?
Starting dehydrated sounded very, I mean, that's what you said, right? They had to start
Yes.
dehydrated because they thought it was a race of strength.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And there was a Cuban guy who lost his money at a dice game?
Yeah, Felix. He raised money to be Cuba's representative. He gets here, I believe, through New Orleans, and he gambles his money away, so he hitchhikes and he just wears pants and a long sleeve dress shirt and street shoes to run the bad boy. Took a nap.
This one almost is so crazy. Yeah, it's kind of like, sounds kind of real.
Yeah.
All right.
Anita,
I'm
you got
good now.
any comments, Anita, or questions?
Well, shout out to Stuff You Missed in History Class podcast. I actually think a lot of this sounds familiar.
Ooh.
But there's so many facts. Yeah, but I think all of it sounds actually like stuff I remember hearing on that podcast.
Are we ready to move on to story number 2?
I'm ready.
All right, Brand. Story number 2 is track and field 1920.
Oh, what a year.
The 1920 Olympics were held in Antwerp, Belgium. I did
Shout
not
out.
call you a name. It's just the name of the city. Antwerp,
I don't
Belgium.
even
I
flinch
saw you-
anymore. No, I don't even flinch anymore.
Antwerp,
It's
Belgium.
just another day for old twerp brand.
Held shortly after World War I, most of the nations in Western Europe financially devastated in financial ruin. Nations were recovering during this time. The Soviet Union didn't even participate in the 1920 track and field Olympics. This is the first use of the modern Olympic flag.
Oh,
that we
the
have.
rings and the
the
whatnots.
rings and the whatnot. We have 65 female participants in the 1920 Olympics in 8 events. 2,500 men participated.
Oh, Lord.
Right? So it's
Little
the
lopsided.
most sparsely attended Olympics ever because of travel and all that good stuff. So let's talk about track and field. There were 24 events held, not including the pentathlon or the decathlon. Most Olympians competed in multiple track and field events throughout the Olympic Games.
Okay.
So let me introduce you to Barbara Dietrich. She's a Belgian nurse that attended and worked the games in 1920. You have athletes who probably could have used a nurse back at the marathon in 1904
Right.
who sometimes would get dehydrated or something would happen during their feats of strength and skill and athleticism during the events. And
Sometimes
so
you trip on the rocks,
the rocks
that they threw
that
in
they've
the middle of
thrown
the road.
out. That's exactly right. So Barbara Dietrich was there to work the games. Now, the original Belgian participant in the 3-kilometer walk, Kim Gavart, had injured herself in the 100-meter hurdles. Barbara sees Kim, treats Kim, and then realizes that Belgium doesn't have, and Belgium's the home country, doesn't have a participant for the 3-kilometer walk that is also a female event in the Olympics. So Barbara Dietrich seizes her opportunity, and the nation of Belgium allows Nurse Barbara
Whoa.
to compete in the Olympics in the 3-kilometer walk. And not only does Nurse Barbara compete for the home country of Belgium, she medals.
Whoa.
That's right, Dynamite Walker. She got her steps in. Barbara Dietrich goes from nursing to winning the bronze medal in the 3-kilometer walk. And then later, years later, in 1928, the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, stripped Barbara Dietrich of her medal and said she did not compete in a qualifying event for her country. IOC throwing a wet blanket on a great story, but Nurse Barbara did medal in the 1920 Olympics. That's the end of story number 2, Brent.
Can you imagine how the 4th place person feels? They get the call and
Yeah.
they're like, hey, you're actually bronze. And
That's
they're
right.
like, why?
Why?
And they're like, well, you actually,
Yeah.
to make your loss worse.
You know how you train for an event and didn't beat the
Yeah,
nurse?
that's really tough. Do you know, Dan, if Barbara maybe was inspired by how well she competed, that she maybe continued
Barbara
to
never
train?
competed in another Olympics again.
Okay,
Yeah.
Barbara, the legend of Barbara.
The legend of
continues.
Barbara. That's exactly right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Carrie, any questions about this story?
Who was it that fell? And that was the 3-walk marathon?
So Kim Gavart was participating in the 100-meter hurdles, and she hurt herself in the hurdles. Yes.
Yeah.
Hurt herself in the hurdles. Say that real fast.
Yeah, that's a tough
Couple
one.
times.
Hurt herself in the
Tough one.
hurdles.
Wow.
That's why they call them the hurdles.
Okay, interesting.
Okay,
And she
okay.
was a nurse. Okay.
She was a nurse. All right.
I'm good.
Anita, any thoughts there?
Well, I mean, I think if we've learned anything, that just like anybody could be part of the Olympics back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not? I
Go
love
for it.
All right. We ready for story number 3?
I'm ready.
All right, here we
excited.
go. Let's go to boxing in the 1936 Olympics. Now, the 1936 Olympics, Brain, were held in Berlin, Germany. Who was in charge of Germany in 1936? Adolf Hitler in charge
Sure.
of Germany in 1936. He had a 100,000 seat track and field stadium built, as well as 6 gymnasiums. He wanted people to see the opulence of his country because of how big of a nationalist he was. And these are the first Olympic Games ever televised.
Wow.
So you could watch the Olympics on TV. Now, boxing was a tournament style event where each match was judged by 3 judges, right? So there's 8 different weight classes. I don't know the weight names. They don't make sense to me, but there are 8 different weight classes. And in the lightweight division, you had to be 135 pounds or less.
Okay.
Right? If you're 136 and you get on the scale right before your
break.
match, there's nothing you can do. You got to make weight. That's a big deal in boxing, right? The official winner was Imre Harangi from Hungary.
Shout out.
That's who won the 135-pound division boxing in the Olympics. Now, let me introduce you to Thomas Hamilton Brown. Thomas Hamilton Brown was a lightweight boxer from South Africa. His first round matchup was Carlos Lilo from Chile. Right? Why am I telling you this?
I don't know.
Because Thomas and Carlos box, and the judges are split in the decision. 1 card said that Thomas won. 2 cards said that Carlos won. Right? Carlos wins. Thomas loses. Thomas, in the 135-pound weight division, is now eliminated from Olympic competition. Are you tracking with me so
tracking.
far? Brown is now in Germany, a long way from South Africa. He is disappointed that his Olympic dream is now over. So what does he do? He goes and eats all the food he can find. He had to make weight, 135. He's like, I'm ditching the weight plan. I'm going and I'm eating big. My dream is over. So he goes on an eating binge. He eats a ton of food. In the evening, after his match, and after eating all of this food, the Olympic Committee realizes that one of the judges had reversed his scoring, and Thomas Hamilton Brown had actually won the fight
Oh, wow.
and was scheduled to move to the next round and did not know it at the time. They find Thomas Hamilton Brown. They tell him the news of the decision had been changed and that he was still in it. The problem was Thomas Hamilton Brown had been stuffing his face full of food.
Oh, no.
And so when he showed up for the next weigh-in to compete to win the gold, he did not make weight the next morning. He was over the 135-pound limit and automatically forfeited his round and chanced to become a gold medalist in the 1936 Olympics. That's the end of story number 3, Brain. What do you think?
Well, I got to be honest. If I would have been able to sweat it off as a professional sweater
Yeah, you
myself.
could. Yeah. Ties right in.
But this story's kind of sad.
Poor Thomas.
and
Hope the food was good, buddy.
I totally buy you're sad. You've been kind of starving yourself of some treats and whatnot to try to make weight. You find out that you don't have to do it anymore. You go and you just go hard in the paint, eating all the cupcakes and the snacks that you can.
Yeah.
This makes sense to me as somebody who may be a bit of an emotional eater. I feel this, so I buy this. Carrie, your thoughts on this? Do you have any questions?
Well, I was thinking of all the brats and rolls he must have been eating.
Yeah, the brats would have been good. Worth it.
I love a
Maybe
brat.
a lot of beer.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
just astounded by the amount of food, so I'm good.
All right, Anita. What do you think?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I mean, if I was sad, I didn't win, I'd eat. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Could be true.
All right. Now's the time, everybody. We have 3 stories. We have the 1904 Summer Olympics with the marathon and its craziness in St. Louis. We have the 1920 Barbara Dietrich medaling as a nurse in Belgium. And we have the 1936 boxer that doesn't make weigh-in because he thought he'd lost in Berlin. Those are your 3 stories. Carrie, I'm going to you first. Which of those stories is a lie? Which is my story?
I mean, all of them just sound crazy. I mean, 3 sounds a little more realistic, but 1 sounds crazy and 2 sounds crazy. So I'm going to go a little old school on this, and I'm going to feel like number 2 is the lie.
Number 2 is the lie. Why is that old school?
So 1920s, and this might be wrong. I'm not trying to be crazy or anything, but I felt like the women weren't allowed to compete in the Olympics in the 20s. I'm not trying to be
No. I
weird,
get it.
but
I understand.
I just feel like at that time period, we just weren't allowing women to do things
go.
like that.
All right.
Fair enough.
Anita, you are up. Which story is my story?
Well, I think I might have let my history nerd slip and given Chase some information on the first one, but it's okay. You said you have 2 fanny packs, so
That's right.
if I get it right, I'm still in here. I'm going to say that the thing that just sounded off to me was the idea of an Olympic event and walking. So I think the middle one was the one that was not true.
The middle one is my story.
All right.
That's what they're saying.
Both of them said that.
Both Carrie and Anita.
So we're
who could
either
not-
giving away 2 fannies or none.
That's exactly
It's a
right.
2 fanny or none situation, everybody.
Let's, Brand, do you have a clue here? What would you have gone with?
If I was playing, I would have also gone with number 2. As your
Okay.
story.
All right. Let's get the marathon out of the way. Totally true.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's the best of us. It's the best of us.
Shout out, Felix.
Anybody who's in that marathon, a true champion.
Yeah.
They all should have gotten a gold medal.
They should have.
That stuff's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. You're dehydrating people.
What do
It's
we do?
crazy.
What do we do with all
That's
these pebbles? Let's
Yes.
put them in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Let's
Just
go
for
to
fun.
let's go to story number 2.
What about the marbles?
Here's what's wild about story number 2 is Carrie said that 2 was false because he wasn't sure women could compete in the Olympics in 1920. They could compete as early as 1900.
Fascinating.
Anita thought it was 2 because there wasn't a walking event. There are 100% walking events in the Olympics. But story number 2 is my story.
How about that? It doesn't matter how they got there. It
It doesn't matter that they got there. Carrie and Anita are correct.
How about that?
Story number 2 is
Awesome.
my story. I made it up. I even made up the name Kim Gavart, which I'm very proud of.
Very, very nice.
That's right. So
You
that
know what?
means
This game deserved 2 winners.
did.
It was
It really
such
did.
a great game.
Had a little of everything.
The bettors, the gamblers out there, they had a really tough time with this one, and rightfully so. So why not give away 2 fanny packs? I love it.
fantastic. Carrie from Lexington, Anita from SoCal. Congrats to both of you on getting the fanny pack this week on Who What When. All right.
Awesome. I'm going to wear mine on my cruise.
I love it.
He's going to wear it on his
Wear it on his
cruise.
cruise.
And just like summer itself, this summer-themed episode of Who What When has gone by way too quickly. Thanks again to our contestants Anita and Carrie for participating in today's game, and a huge congratulations to both for taking home those Who What When fanny packs.
Our producer's A.T. Shire, our executive producer Sean Birch, who thinks it's fly when you stop by for the summer. This show's a production of South Carolina Public Radio and is made possible in part by listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina.
Join us for an episode of Who What When. Just call or text us 803-470-6347 or send us an email to whowhatwhen@stpublicradio.org.
You can find out more about the show at our website, southcarolinapublicradio.org/whowhatwhen.
And you can listen to an extended version of the show in your favorite podcast app or through your smart speaker.
I'm Daniel Thompson.
And I'm Brandon Gray. Join us next week for more history, games, and trivia right here on Who What When.